Okay guys, I gotta be real with you. This project was entirely born out of needing clay for the Monster Book of Monsters. You will actually see the mouth in this video, and saying, hey, I could include enough clay to make little animals, it'll be so cute! Now I considered polymer clay, which I've used a little bit before, but since I don't know anyone's oven situation or thoughts on polymer clay fumes, I went for air drying clay. I figured I would just use super basic figures and it would be fine. Spoiler alert, it was not fine. Attempting to make this video has been a comedy of errors. I have never used this sort of clay before. I couldn't get the stuff I'm vaguely familiar with delivered in time to make your kits. I tried, and it behaves differently than all of the other clays that I have ever used. I expected that to some degree, but I didn't guess how it would be different. It is both stickier and softer than I was expecting when wet, and it's very, very prone to failing at every joint and breaking in half when dry. So essentially, consider the clay a bonus thing to play with and don't take this project very seriously. Log that you did it on ReaderZone whether you did it or not. It is a freebie. Make anything you like, however you like, just know that it's probably going to fall apart. Anyway, let's get on with it. So this project calls for your clay, your paint, and your paintbrushes. You will not need the paint or the paintbrushes right now because the clay will have to dry for a solid 24, maybe 48 hours until it's not, wet anymore. You can usually tell when it's dry before you can actually paint it. The basic thing you want to do when making any kind of clay figures, this isn't polymer clay, is break it down into the most basic shapes you can until you have a lot more skill than I am ever going to have with this stuff. But once you have figured out how to break it down into shapes, and I will leave some links in the description below to help you with that, you just kind of roll and pull and stretch and join them together as best as you can. And I'm really not going to say too much. I'm going to put this whole thing in fast forward and let it go. I mean, this, considering how many issues I had trying to get this clay to behave, I'm really not one to try to tell you how to do anything. I will also leave the brand name in the description below as well. But yeah, I did not have one figure that actually made it out alive. And what I'm trying to do right now is make a snail. And it was the one that came out the best. I also attempted a small bear and a penguin. And by the end of this, the snail has lost one of its antennae, the bear has lost both arms, its head, both ears, and the penguin is also headless, and I think the beak fell off too. There's one point that I actually kept the original audio where I just said I give up, and when we get to that point, I'll play it. Once your clay has dried, and that really will take at least 24 hours, this is not something that is just going to dry in 20 or 30 minutes, you can try to paint it. This is the part where everything absolutely goes wrong, but that's okay. It's a learning experience. You can see there on the right where I was working on the Monster Book of Monster Mouths. I was doing both of these videos at pretty much the same time, and you know, since the clay on both of them had both dried, then I was just going ahead and doing all the painting. But yeah, here in just a second, the bear is going to fall apart. I will try to work on the penguin, and then I will finally give up and paint the snail. I'm sorry, I just thought this whole process was hilarious, so... Alright, so I'm working on the penguin. I've given up on the bear because he's already in about 5 different pieces. You can see them all. The penguin's head is about to pop off, and then... I give up. Now, I did not actually give up. I went and washed all of the black paint off my hands and continued to paint the snail pink. But really, this was just the epitome of me figuring out that I really don't know what I'm doing with clay. So that's pretty much this project. You can glue all of the pieces back together. Mod Podge works on it pretty well, as you may remember from the Monster Book of Monsters, where we use Mod Podge to glue all the teeth into the gums. But really, just go forth and have fun with this one, and don't expect it to be a masterpiece, and you will be fine. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.